each other in Cape Coral last month.
These two women were preyed upon by the defendant, and their murders impacted their families and shook our community.
The grand jury indictment comes out, and the public is very interested in this case. The media attention grew and grew and grew over time. This is not what we're used to. Just
Do
absolute
you have to
random
say that while
violence.
you're live?
Some people made a little bit of a
There's no one.
connection between Wade
Oh,
Wilson and Cape Coral and
Got my
Wade
eyes on
Wilson,
you.
the anti-hero, also known as Deadpool. Some people were calling him the
Oh,
Deadpool
Santa.
killer, using it in headlines saying the Deadpool killer is going to trial. Anytime we would have court, he'd be on the news and people would see his face. And so women started writing him, women started reaching out to him. I did a public records request for Wade Wilson's visitor log. There were hundreds of kiosk calls from women.
Thank you for using EPL.
Hi, baby. What's up, baby? Baby, what are you gonna be wearing tomorrow? Well, baby, that sounds like it.
During the time period up to the trial, Wade Wilson is changing his appearance while he's in jail, including adding tattoos on his face and head, such as a swastika. This grabs media attention, of course, and it just caused a media sensation.
Wade Wilson.
Wade Wilson.
Wade Wilson's receiving an interesting number of messages from the outside. 3,903 messages since June 12th of this year. He ate it up. He loved it. Every time he'd come to court, he'd look behind and see who was there watching him.
He gained a following from all over the world that went on email writing campaigns for him and started GoFundMe pages for him. And he started collecting money basically for brutally killing two young women.
You know, they say that.
Well,
Really?
the attention was very upsetting to the families. To just think that women could be attracted to and giving attention to this man that really was a monster and who upended their lives. That was a really difficult thing to deal with. I think one thing about this case that stands out is how justice can't be served without people that are willing to come in and testify. You know someone by the name of Wade Wilson. How do you know Wade Wilson?
He's my son.
How old were you when you found out you were going to be his father?
14 or 15.
How old was his mother at the time?
A year younger than me.
Was he placed up for adoption?
Yes, ma'am.
Christine Melton was my best friend and my cousin until October 7th, 2019.
Did you have any contact with her after you left for work that day?
A brief text message. She didn't think I gave her a kiss goodbye.
This was certainly a group effort of people in the community willing to come in and testify against someone who was so dangerous. And because of that, we were able to do what we did.
The jury finds the defendant is guilty of first-degree murder.
There are certain people who, I'll say it, they are poster children for the death penalty. And Wade Wilson is one of them. So our goal from the minute we knew what he had done to these two women was to receive a death penalty sentence.
He killed for the sake of killing. That's what he wanted to do, and that's why he did it. I don't think there was any ounce of remorse whatsoever.
The totality of the circumstances warrants that the defendant
Wade Stephen Wilson be sentenced to death for each count first-degree murder. Count 1, first-degree murder of Christine Melton. The defendant is hereby sentenced to death. Count 4, first-degree murder of Diane Reeves. The defendant is hereby sentenced to death.
When I heard that he got the death penalty, all I could think of was if the Palm Beach County Sheriffs had done their job, these two women would probably still be here. So I filed a complaint against the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office for not thoroughly investigating my sexual assault.
The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office did do an internal affairs investigation. At the end of the report, they did find that Detective Potter did not do a thorough investigation on the sexual assault of Kelly Matthews. Detective Potter was supposed to be suspended for 3 weeks, but he ended up only being suspended for 2 weeks.
Wade ruined my trust in the dating world, but he didn't ruin my life. I have a great life. Assault is like such a dirty thing that no one wants to talk about it, and I refused to be one of those people. I'm not a victim, I'm a survivor, and I will always advocate for people that have gone through this.
Do you have any more exams for
Want
me?
to share their story, and if they're too afraid to, you know, they can always reach out to me. I'll help them. They shouldn't hide from this kind of stuff.
What am I looking at? Go on my Instagram, @90daysjeffrey, and read my post and tell us all about it.
I have no idea how he was cast on a reality show as big as 90 Day Fiancé.
He was like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You didn't know which one you were going to get.
He grabbed me and shoved me, threw me on the ground, strangled me. I genuinely think he was trying to kill me.
All I see is the abuse when I close my eyes. It was just not going to stop until he was stopped.
I've never spoken to anyone about this other than the police and my friends and family. And I just feel like it's time. Looking back on it, there were so many red flags. I should have run for the hills. In 2017, I had just started my teaching job. I taught 3rd grade. It was my dream job at my dream school. And after dating my boyfriend, Corey, through grad school, we ended up breaking up. He was my best friend, but we just weren't quite sure that that was what we wanted forever. And then I met Jeffrey in December. I was scrolling through a dating app, and I swiped right on Jeffrey Ian. He was in his 30s, had dark hair, very good physical build, gorgeous eyes. And so I sent him the first message and just said hello. He quickly gave me his number and we were texting. He was very charismatic, clearly intelligent, and then we decided to go out on a date. We went to dinner at a local Mexican restaurant and hit it off right away. Jeffrey told me he owns several properties on the street where his house is and multiple properties around Knoxville. He made himself seem like a really successful businessman. Jeffrey was also at that time working as an actor on these crime shows.
Yeah, I saw the cop car. What's going on? What is it? Oh, good. It's Mom's house.
I thought him being an actor was really cool. He was the total package. Jeffrey came on really strong, really hard, really fast. He would show up at my house with just a trunk full of groceries. We went to the mall a lot. I would see a sweater or a scarf. Oh, I love that. That's so cute. And then the next day, he would show up at my house with it. He really just completely swept me off my feet.
Hi, Jeffrey, just giving you a ring there and check on you. Letting you know I'm on my way home.
On our first date, Jeffrey told me about his ex-wife in Canada, Brittany, and his 2 children with her. They were 2 and 10 months old, and Jeffrey had full custody of them. It was like I became a mom overnight. They went absolutely everywhere with us. I was overwhelmed by it at first. I wasn't really ever sure that I wanted kids of my own, but oh my gosh, did I fall in love with those boys. And then a couple weeks after that, right before New Year's Eve, I was staying at his house and I went downstairs and there were 2 teenagers in his living room and I'm like, hello, who are you? Like, hi. And he's like, oh, I'm just taking care of these couple of boys for a friend. The teenage boys would come and go, and so honestly, I didn't give it much thought. We were a couple months now into this relationship. I was walking upstairs at his house and saw mail sitting just on one of the stairs. And on the mail it said Jeffrey Paschal. He had told me that his last name was Ian, and my instant first thought was, is he hiding something? I confronted him about it when he got home. He made me feel like I was making a big deal out of nothing. Ian is my middle name. You just assumed that Ian was my last name. And I was like, okay, maybe it isn't a big deal. And started to even question, like, did he tell me his last name was Ian, or did I just make this all up in my head? And then one day, Jeffrey called me from his home phone for some reason. It was a number I didn't have in my cell phone, so I let it go to voicemail. And Googled the number, and it came up, Allison Paschal. I'm wondering who Allison Paschal is. Is it his sister? Is it his mom? So I do a search for her name, and pops a birth announcement with Allison Paschal and Jeffrey Paschal for their son. He had made it seem like his children with Brittany were the only children that he had. This was a really big deal to me. What else is he trying to hide from me? So I searched Jeffrey's name, and I found a whole slew of court cases about his previous relationships. I found domestic assault allegations alleged.
Did you take a shower?
Yeah, Santa hasn't.
Abuse
Did
of
you?
children,
Yes.
and that he had kept opiates in the house. And I was shocked to read that because it just didn't seem like the person I was dating. I also found several marriages, I believe 4. When he was 18 years old, he got married for the first time, and that allegedly ended in an annulment. Then he married Sabrina, then he married Allison. And then he married Brittany. And I found several birth announcements. I realized that those two teenagers were his as well. That their mother was Sabrina.
Sabrina.
He had completely lied and bamboozled me. I came across mugshots and criminal charges that included driving while intoxicated, assault, drug charges, and the biggest one, he did some time in federal prison in Texas. I was horrified. I am a teacher. I've never been in trouble, and now this guy that I'm dating is a felon. I have no idea who I'm dating. I confronted him about it, and he made it again seem like it wasn't a big deal. Like, well, you never asked. How am I supposed to ask? Do you have 4 ex-wives that you haven't told me about? Have you been to federal prison before? And then he told me that he wasn't honest about those charges because then I wouldn't have ever showed any interest in him initially. Which is valid. I was like, yeah, you're right. I wouldn't have dated you had I known.